Kyurei surveyed the area from afar as a sniper. Now, she still watches from a distance, but in a different way. Thanks to her new tech, SKOPOS is able to maintain a wide network of control unlike any other defender. That's because what SKOPOS brings to the field is not one, but two remotely controlled robotic operators. These shells, named Talos and Colossus, make up the V10 Pantheon system. At any given moment, one of SKOPOS' shells will be in an active state, where it functions like an operator, while the other remains in an idle state, where it functions like a powerful piece of defensive utility. SKOPOS' control allows her to swap the states of these shells, quickly delivering offensive or defensive power where it's needed most. SKOPOS' active shell works much like any other operator. It can move, shoot, and use gadgets. It's also SKOPOS' primary lifeline. If a shell is destroyed while it's active, Kyurei's link is severed, and she's functionally dead for the rest of the round. 2 bodies does not mean 2 lives. Meanwhile, SKOPOS' idle shell will take on a defensive posture, deploying an integrated shield that functions much like a deployable shield secondary gadget. While in this state, the idle shell can be used as an observation tool by Kyurei and her allies. Additionally, SKOPOS can access her idle shell's camera directly at any time with the gadget button. While SKOPOS is looking through her idle shell's camera, she'll have the option to swap shells. Activating the swap sequence will put her active shell into idle mode and put her idle shell into active mode. The only catch is that the active shell needs to be in a position where it can deploy its shield to perform the swap. SKOPOS' HUD has an indicator that'll make this easier. In fact, SKOPOS' HUD will display plenty of useful information about both shells, including whether the idle shell is under attack or being affected by an EMP. SKOPOS is a very tactically oriented operator that requires players to collect data and quickly act on it to maximize her potential. A strong SKOPOS player is one that makes frequent use of her idle shell to guide the actions of her active shell. For most players, SKOPOS will likely be a shallow roamer, operating near the bomb site while having the means to extend into a deeper roam or fall back and anchor as needed. If used strategically, she has the power to be one of the most mobile operators in the game. SKOPOS' idle shell can be a very strong piece of utility. Having the combined properties of a deployable shield and a bulletproof camera, this shield can offer a large amount of intel from relative safety. SKOPOS' idle shell is most effective when placed in key areas for the defenders to hold so that it can provide information and serve as a launching point for when the enemy least expects it.
Talos coming out!